Hey, hey, hey there, friends on YouTube. It's Jason, Painfully Honest Tech podcast. How you guys doing? I'm trying to sound like my voice is cutting out. Am I doing it very well? No, I'm not. Yeah, so here we are, another day, another dollar, another episode of the Painfully Honest Tech podcast. And here we're gonna just talk about stuff. I mean, the biggest news, of course, is well, I don't even know if it's news, but the biggest hype going on right now is, of course, the Galaxy Fold. Today, a second wave of YouTubers got their hands on the Galaxy Fold. So we've got a second wave of Galaxy Fold videos, and so we can just talk about that some. We're gonna have our special guest later on, and talk about some stuff that some stuff that happened
in his world.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about other things. I don't know. We got a couple of starter things to talk about. I want to let all you guys know, because I'm going to try and get better at this. I want you to know that if you don't already follow Zach or myself on the Twitters, you should go over to twitter.com/Jason T. Lewis PhD and subscribe to me, or just search Jason Painfully Honest Tech, and go over to Twitter and search Painfully Honest, or search Zach Talks Tech, and subscribe to Zach, because we're funny on Twitter, unlike here.
Are we?
I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. I can be like sort of a Twitter a-hole sometimes.
I kicked off some people this week, yesterday.
Yeah. I ticked off a bunch of people recently. So
I mean, that's normal for you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's just me uploading a video, it seems. So another announcement before we get going, and I'll announce it again as we go through the podcast, as people come in and out. We are going to move the podcast to its own special channel. Its own special channel called Painfully Honest. Hold on a second.
Painfully Honest Live.
Audio. Okay, Painfully Honest. I just went to the channel, and all of a sudden I was hearing myself in my head, which is weird. Painfully Honest Live. So we've got a link for that. You can also just, I guess, search Painfully Honest Live. I just created the channel recently, so sometimes it takes YouTube a little bit of time to make everything happen. Yep. We'd be broadcasting on that channel tonight if the 24 hours that it takes to enable live streaming had elapsed.
I put a link in the chat there for the people that are watching us right now. So go ahead and jump over there and subscribe to Jason's new live channel. And it's not a tech channel. It's just Painfully Honest Live. So there could be,
I mean, of course, it's gonna be tech related at times, but it gives me an opportunity to be painfully honest about other things.
I can't wait to talk about politics.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, as if I don't already make people mad enough. I will make people, even more people, a broader range of people will be mad at me.
Like Sean and Jeremy there in the chat, they're raring to go here.
Yeah. Very interesting. Oh, very interesting.
El Jefe reviews with the banhammer already.
Yeah. Steam Mobile Tech. I don't know. Like, Zach is blurry to me. It's the YouTube pipes. It's not my fault. There's nothing I can do.
I'm looking at the live stream over here, and it looks okay to me. So
okay. Yeah, Zach is blurry. I look beautiful and clear and crisp when I'm talking, but Zach is blurry.
It could be the beard. You know what I ordered today? I don't know. When I can't sleep, I end up watching stupid YouTube videos. And I end up buying dumb things. I bought a heated comb. Like, women normally use this to like straighten their hair. Not a hair straightener, but a comb that heats up.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use it on my beard for straightening. Rather than doing like the hair dryer and the comb thing.
Yeah. I don't do either.
Yeah. You see our friend?
I have a brush.
Yeah. That I use. Did you see our friend Jeremy Sears did a really good video the other day on like beard oils and everything like that?
No, I did not see that.
But he has that long, like his beard comes down like here, and then he ties it off, and there's even more beard. Like he has an awesome beard.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I I well, I had the beard going.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't trim for what was it like? I think I trimmed it back in March.
Yeah,
I
you went
didn't
3 months because it was since October. Well, I guess almost
Yeah,
5 months. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, so I trimmed it a little bit when at one point when I think it was when I burned my hair off with the grill. Um and which I almost did again tonight
Mm-hmm.
because my grill won't light itself, so I have to stick the little extended lighter thing in there. And if the extended lighter thing doesn't light on the first couple of things, then you get all this gas and
Yeah.
so, but
First world problems.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. But yeah, so yeah, I was going to say something now. I don't know what it was. Yeah, so another announcement.
There's more?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This podcast will be rebooting as an audio podcast beginning the week of June 1st.
Mm.
That's when I'm going to be able to like focus more time, because I think that's when I'm going to have quit my job.
There you go. Perfect.
So
Are we gonna have a quit your job celebration broadcast?
we might do something. I don't know. It's I am okay. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be painfully honest.
Okay.
I am scared shiceless.
Yeah. No, I know you are.
Yeah.
It's exciting though, right? Like YOLO.
It's exciting.
Is that what the kids say?
That's
YOLO?
what I don't know. I don't know if they still say it.
They still
but
say that? YOLO?
I don't know. They said it at one point. I don't know if they still say it, but yeah, it's scary. Like I can say I think that everything is working and everything's going to be okay, but I can't.
I think once
guarantee
you
that.
get like a beard oil sponsor, you'll feel better.
Well, my beard will be more moisturized.
Exactly.
So I won't have the beard drift problem
Mm-hmm.
that I sometimes have.
Can we single out somebody in the chat real quick? And actually for the good. Tech Rant.
Okay. Yes.
Tech Rant did a phenomenal video. Was it yesterday?
Yes.
I wouldn't say going after, but it was more or less his critique of the LGG8 review that Marquez Brownlee did.
Yeah.
And not only did he get a terrific response from the community and people watching, Marquez actually joined in the conversation, and there's like a whole thread kind of thing. And so
very cool.
It was very well done.
Yeah, and Tech Rant actually like said some things that when I watched that video, I was kind of thinking. And so some of the points that he makes in the video were partially formed thoughts that I had. Mm-hmm. So maybe Tech Rant is trying to steal my thunder.
I think Tech Rant is trying to copy you. Yep, that's what it is.
I
got that Viper guy in the chat. He was here last week. Yeah,
he was here last week. Maybe we'll have him back again sometime soon.
Always a good time with Viper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like fire.
I know. Yeah. I know. Last week we went 4 hours. We're not going 4 hours tonight.
Last week was a lot, but it was good. It was good conversation. Yeah, so let's just say hi to a few people in the chat real quick. We got Sean Williams, we got Geonosis, Krista White, we got Sneed Mobile Tech, Viper, of course, Sean 2005, who just doesn't seem like a happy person at all. Apple Jockey. Who else we got in here?
Matt Lowry.
I mean, it makes you think of Mike Larry. Remember from
it makes me think of Matt Lauer. The guy, he was a television.
Oh, the NBC guy that creeped everybody out and they got fired. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. It's always the guys that you think like that guy seems like he's a totally upstanding human being.
Yeah,
and then you find out no, he's just a total like.
Yeah. We got the coach in the chat. CWC Technologies coach.
Good to see you.
I know LeBaron was up there. I saw his chat earlier. Tech for your needs.
Yep.
A lot of familiar. We got 112 souls watching us.
112 intrepid souls
So what do you want to talk about first,
watching
Jason?
the Painfully Honest Tech podcast. Oh, thank you, Coach. Coach is getting started. The super chat barrage that 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 we hope will continue on through the rest of the podcast. Yeah. So, what do we want to talk about? I think first we should talk about this Apple news because it's weird, kind of like inside baseball news, but it's interesting,
The
right?
the what
The
do you call it?
Qualcomm
The Qualcomm.
stuff.
Yeah.
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 So I'm just who is this Sean 2005? I am started.
Yeah.
This is the start.
I think Sean needs a break.
We have mods to take care of these kinds of things.
Yeah. Okay, so let's give a brief summary of I'm just gonna read the headline. It's from CNET because it's the article I sent you.
Sure.
Okay. So Apple and Qualcomm settle license dispute amid trials opening. So basically, the trial was opening today, and I guess they were at the point of opening statements, and then they came out with a separate statement saying, "Hey, you know what? We've settled it all. Apple is going to pay Qualcomm a chunk of money. I don't know if they've announced what the amount is or what the speculation is. Plus, I think it said 6-year contract with an additional 2 for licensing, which means in the overall sphere of this, what this means is that we'll probably see 5G a lot earlier on Apple iPhones than was expected.
Okay, that's good. Jay Mill.
Is that a good summary?
Yeah, that is a good summary.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the article right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not much of an article. It's more of like a news release kind of thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a ton of detail about it, but it does make the point that consumers are the ones who will win out here.
Absolutely.
And then there's like a quote from Endpoint Technologies analyst Roger Kay that says, "I think Apple threw in the towel."
Well, they didn't want to. Apparently, according to this, I mean, they don't want to use Huawei because of the controversies there. They don't want to use anybody else for their 5G modems in the phones.
Right.
So who else are you going to use? Qualcomm, right? The best.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only reason they didn't use Qualcomm this year was because of this. You know, so, and people have complained that the 2018 iPhones have had like not so great reception because they had these new modems, but I haven't had any problems whatsoever. So I'm on Verizon with my and AT&T with an iPhone.
Yeah, I haven't had any problems with my 10R. Still very much enjoying the experience, as I explained in some of my videos last week and everything like that. So, I still have this case on here that you don't like.
No, I don't like that case at all.
Although I have been swapping between this and the Nomad cases that Nomad sent me. So
I mean that case, at least through this video chat, looks like a turd.
No, it doesn't, man. It feels like, I don't know. It's like carpety.
I know. It's like your grandma's couch from 1984.
My grandma's couch from 1984 had plastic on it. Come on, man. Let's be real.
Well, I mean the
heavy gauge plastic
underneath. I mean the fabric underneath. Hey, we missed a super chat from Jay Mill, $5. Thank you very much. Keep making good vids. I am trying. I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder, whether or not they're good.
You read the chat, I'm calling a carpet phone. Thanks, Jason.
Carpeted turd. Yes.
So I have a carpet phone. Deal with it. But anyway, going back to the Apple Qualcomm thing here. I mean, I didn't know how. I mean, I know that I've read a few articles in the past about this. I thought who has probably a really good perspective about this? Andrew Edwards would probably.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
He seems to know quite a bit about the Qualcomm and everything like that. But anyway,
he seems to know quite a lot about everything. At least in his own mind.
Calm down, Jason. Calm down. Like lawsuits. Calm down. But no, I mean, this will be good because the 5G will come sooner rather than 2021 or 2020, late 2020. They were saying 2021 for iPhones, and it's a 6-year plus a 2-year extension possibly. And I'm sure we'll find out more details. I don't know what the patent license, like what the actual dispute was, but I guess Apple just realized that, hey, we can't manufacture this ourselves, and there's companies that we don't want to necessarily work with. Who's left? The guys you're trying to sue, right? So,
Well, I mean, as I understood it, there was some kind of argument over money, right?
it's always money.
Um, and 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 so Apple decided to tell Qualcomm to go fly a kite and went to Intel, I think, to make the modems. But the
Yeah.
problem was that they just basically reverse engineered the Qualcomm modems,
Oh, okay.
or at least that was the allegation.
Mm,
Um, and I think that's what this suit was about.
okay.
But I can't be 100%
Yeah.
certain on that. But yeah, there was this. Qualcomm was really ticked off because basically Apple just went to Intel and said, "Make something like this."
Yeah.
And there was some proprietary tech in there or something. So
Mm.
at the end of the day, uh, this is a net gain for the consumer, sure. Um, and I mean, my question about 5G is like, what is the state of the infrastructure for 5G in the US and Canada?
So my understanding in the United States this year, there'll be up to possibly 36 or 40 cities that will have the 5G. Okay. In Canada, I don't think they're doing any rollout in major centers until late this year.
Right.
But I mean, it's not like, in my opinion, you open up your phone right now and you're connected to the network and things are slow. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like, your
Yeah.
things work right now, and they work pretty dang good if you think about where we've come from,
Yeah.
right? So, um, I understand that people want the new and especially people in the tech community want the news, the greatest right away and everything like that. And we see this especially with the Fold, which we'll talk about soon. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I am personally afraid of that much speed.
hmm Just that's not the speed you need.
I mean, it seems like once we harnessed the atom, we became like God.
Yeah.
And now that we have harnessed like gigabit speed over mobile, then who knows what's going to happen?
Well, it was 5 years ago they were saying we won't need anything higher than this LTE or whatever we are on currently right now, right?
Right.
And then here's the next step, right? But
Yeah.
it gives manufacturers and whatnot a chance to sell more devices. But there's also the connectivity, the infrastructure technology part of it as well. As an example would be self-driving vehicles. They need to be able to talk to networks, right, like
Right.
that, in
Right.
order to drive people around. There's one reason. The reason why, for example, the self-driving vehicles in Las Vegas during CES did so well is because they already knew the previous map.
Right.
Whereas the idea with future self-driving cars, and again, this is just an example of 5G, is that they won't need to know and they'll map as they go, as by talking to satellite and 5G and all that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So it's more than just cell phones. It's a whole. It's like Skynet.
Yeah. These days, everything is Skynet. Everybody's
Yeah,
like Skynet.
yeah,
AI is Skynet. Hey,
yeah.
I want to say thanks to Steven Verb for the 4.99 super chat. Enjoy your content. Thanks. You are welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the 5G thing, it's kind of like I'm not gonna hold my breath. I'm certainly not gonna pay extra to buy a 5G phone this year. Unless like if the Galaxy Note 10 is a 5G phone,
My
only
pre-
because
my
they don't.
prediction is 5G devices, 5G phones will obviously be expensive this year. They're going to be expensive next year. It's the year after that. We'll see them kind of level out once everybody kind of gets on board, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I know there is no way in hell that 5G speeds are gonna come to anywhere close to me. I'm
yeah.
not gonna. It's like it'll be a long time.
Well, you're where you live specifically is kind of rural-ish, I guess, suburb-ish, right?
Well, I mean, it's the nearest major city is probably it's Chicago, and that's 3+ hours away.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Iowa, like my town has about 70 or 80,000 people in it. But you drive 20 minutes out of town and you're in Farmville. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's weird. Like this, they call it the People's Republic of Johnson County because this this town is full of mostly liberal, university types, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha.
But the rest of Iowa, as many of you probably know, is not liberal. So it makes for interesting times.
So I want to tell you about one more thing about Apple that I read today. I came across the article and I read it really quick. There is an Apple store. I can't remember where it is, but pictures have come out. The store is infested with bed bugs.
Oh yeah.
Did you see this?
I saw that on
That's the weirdest Apple bug I've ever heard of.
yeah, I mean yeah. Oh, dad joke alert.
I read the headline. It's not even my joke.
Yeah. It's I mean, bed bugs in New York City have been a major problem for a while.
Yeah.
And so that's, I mean, and people were taking doing major things with their luggage, so they didn't take any so that they didn't take any bed bugs home with them and all this other stuff. If they stayed in a hotel. How an Apple store becomes infested with bed bugs, I don't know. Do they make the geniuses sleep there?
I don't
Do they
know.
have like a bunkhouse?
The employees are told to put their stuff in plastic bags and it's just, there's some pictures that have come out and everything. But I mean, I travel a lot, or at least I used to, and that was my biggest paranoia. I mean, I booked nice hotels, not like, Empress or something like that, but I booked, nice hotels, right? And that was my number one fear. As soon as I got to the room, I wouldn't even get to the door, and I would go check for bed bugs. I never found any, thank God. But yeah,
I guess I know about it, but I never think about it.
You're probably better off that way. Just don't think it's a thing.
Yeah, I'm not very good. Like, I don't think about stuff that like would probably be good for me to think about.
Mm-hmm.
When it's time. So I don't know. I wonder if bed bugs would like crawl into like a MacBook Pro and go home with somebody.
Let's stop before we freak more people out. Hey, let's talk about the Galaxy Fold.
Okay, let's talk about the Galaxy Fold.
I don't want to talk about why you and I are not getting it. Let's talk about, I guess, more or less what your video, which was about, how do I say this? Your video was more about how this is all hype.
Yeah.
And it's all smoke and mirrors, right?
Well, yeah, to a certain point, people have taken umbrage with my thumbnail, right?
Mm-hmm.
But whether or not it's like good new tech that is going to be beneficial to us in the future and all that kind of stuff, it's still kind of like you're paying $2,000 for something that is not quite fully baked.
Yeah, see, I'm of the opinion, because, and it's so easy to pick on this, but if I'm going to pay that kind of money, and it's like 2,500 Canadian, right? So if I'm going to pay that kind of money, there better not be a crease anywhere at any time, and I don't care if I have to hold it a certain angle and I don't see it. No. Yeah. It's like my issue with the Pixel 2 way back when, about with the blue screens.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I understand.
Right? Like that shouldn't be happening. No way. Right? Not for that price.
I am agreeing with you 1,000%.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where the weird thing for me, as Septian says here in the chat, is the price is just insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
You get them.
And in this era where everybody is complaining, and one of the biggest discussions, that anybody's having anywhere is about, the rising cost of smartphones, and is any smartphone worth over $1,000? You can go buy the old MacBook Air for $1,000.
Yeah.
You know, so this is a weird moment where 2019 seems to me in the phone world that there's going to be a major discussion about cost.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of hope that people will vote with their feet
Yeah.
or their wallets, or however you want to
I
say
hear
it.
what you're saying. It's, I mean, let's be really clear. Samsung did say, and they said this during their presentation,
Yes,
this is a luxury
they did.
product. We don't expect the mainstream to go after it. But I mean,
But
it's the latest greatest thing. Of course, people are gonna,
I mean,
have it.
if you're buying luxury goods, if you're one of those, if you're a person of means in that
Mm-hmm.
way,
Mm-hmm.
then you're buying Mercedes. And somebody made a point somewhere that said, like, would you pay $85,000 for a Tesla that had a plastic windshield?
Yeah.
It's just like, well, okay, we've got this thing and it costs a lot of money. It costs a lot of money, but it's new and it's never been seen before, and so it's $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that the R&D of the device and everything else like doesn't make it need to cost that much,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know that we need to have the opportunity to buy it.
I mean, okay. So I'm on record as saying I was waiting to hear the use cases and see how and how Samsung markets this, and now I'm on board with, like, I see the use cases and I like the idea, but the only thing that kills it for me is the price. And it's not a matter of, Zach can't afford it.
Yeah.
It's a matter of, like, that's just an insane amount for a first gen product.
I mean, here's the whole thing. Like, the question, so and so can't afford it. So I got a lot of comments on my video
Yeah.
about, you're
Yeah.
just jealous because you can't afford it, or
Yeah.
Samsung, you're just jealous because Samsung didn't send you one. I
And our
mean,
friend Technically T also got a lot of the same
right,
thing. Yeah, it's on
right.
everybody's videos. Yep.
And so, like, do I have $2,000? Yes. Do I want to spend it on that phone?
Mm-hmm.
No. No. I mean, would I like to use the phone, check it out, and have an opportunity to get familiar with it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Let me ask this of all the people in the chat, and maybe people are listening. Let's assume that the majority of you have a phone. Maybe it's one of the Plus designs. Maybe you have a Note 9 or a 10s Max or something with a big screen. Okay.
right.
When was the last time you pulled that out of your pocket, out of your purse, your merce, whatever you use to carry it with, and you
Your
went,
fanny pack. I guess fanny packs
fanny
are hip
pack, whatever.
again.
When was the last time you pulled that out of your pocket and you said to yourself, man, I wish the screen was bigger? It's never happened, right? So why do
Yeah.
you need a foldable phone?
Well, I mean, I think the Galaxy Fold, while it's probably in many ways well built and it's a marvel of engineering and all of those kinds of things, I'm not going to take that away from it. Think about it. It's the size of two Galaxy phones, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the size of two Galaxy phones
Yep.
together in a sandwich,
Yeah.
which doesn't close all the way. So it's fatter on one side.
Yeah, it does. It does this weird clam. It's not flat, obviously, right? So
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just imagining like putting that in my pocket
mm-hmm.
and
He'll be like, Jason, is that a fold in your pocket? You're just happy to see me.
yeah, it's awfully thin. It could be mistaken as phallic.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so
okay, so Jason and I are not denying that it's not cool and everything like that, and we don't love tech and everything. We're just arguing, I guess, the other side of things about, in a world where last year and this year so far, people are complaining about smartphone prices, and everybody's going goo goo gaga about the 10R version of something or the 10E of a version of something of being a better buy, and then all of a sudden you're drooling over a foldable phone. Like what?
yeah, I mean,
And that's part. I think that's the part that confuses us, right?
and see, this is the thing that makes me mad. Part of my video yesterday was aimed not only at like the general, is this thing worth $2,000? Because I guess if you're willing to buy it, than it is to you. That's not the thing. But I just get disappointed. I get disappointed
He's not mad. He's disappointed.
when exactly at to a certain extent at the YouTube community.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to hear somebody say like, okay, this is great. This is really cool. But you shouldn't buy it.
I'm sure there'll be videos like that eventually.
I mean, I love John Rettinger, and I haven't watched his video, but the title is "You Want to Buy This Phone,"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I'm just like, I don't know, I mean, it's cool. I'm not going to take that away. I know it's cool,
Mm-hmm.
but it's cool like as a curiosity, and I think like like Roberto said in my on Twitter the other day, like Gen 3 is when anybody should really care about this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm when you,
I want to see Lou or Marquez or anybody else who's covering this phone who got the invite. I want to see them say, okay, this is really awesome. I mean, it's a very impressive device, but nobody should buy this.
Mm-hmm.
But they won't. They won't.
Yeah.
And I can't say that it's because, well, they get invited to the event or anything like that. For one thing, well, I mean, Marquez just isn't that kind of reviewer.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't, he stays more like on the even keel.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's weird to me that the reaction to it is crazy. People are just going nuts over it. And nobody is saying like, what else is crazy? $2,000 for a smartphone.
Yeah.
That has a crease in it.
Yeah.
Like
I'm all for getting the new stuff all the time. That. But when
yeah.
I looked at the, like I said, I looked at the use case and I finally kind of got sold on it and everything like that. And, but the more I'm just like, I can't justify dropping this for a first gen. Do you know what I mean? Like look at the outside when you close it. Look at those bezels.
Yeah.
It does automatically force you to open it. I mean, you would basically just use the outside for when like taking a phone call or maybe answering a text, right? You wouldn't do a lot on the outside at all. You'd have to fold it open all the time.
Right.
Right.
And it's cool that it has that continuity feature that keeps you on the same app, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
But
you know what? Actually, I'm going to answer Mark C here. When that fold drops down to around the $1,300 mark, I'll probably pick it up, but not now, not for that much.
Yeah, but
yeah,
if the fold drops down to $1,300, that means that other phones have to have dropped down.
Yeah,
dropped down to below where they are right now.
Well, I mean, the Galaxy S10 has already dropped $200 or $300 depending on your markets and everything like that. Yeah, I mean that's kind of normal, and it's actually good for the consumer as well. You don't want to pick up unless you really want to pick up the latest Android right away because they typically will drop in price within 30 days. So if you can be patient, do it, right? Save yourself some money.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that I don't think that it's just one of those things, and I said this in the video, it's one of those things that you can buy that is it's one of those purchases where it's compensating for something. Like somebody who goes out and buys I don't know, like a top spec Escalade or Nexus or Lexus or whatever. Somebody who goes out and buys like a muscle car.
Yep. Okay.
And it has all the stripes and everything on it. That's compensating for something. That's you trying to placate some hole that is not filled in you. Um, and I realize how ironic it is for a guy who talks about tech on the internet all the time to be talking about this as well. But I think it's worth talking about. And for the people who made it to the end of my video, um, I think it's I think they appreciated that part of the discussion.
Would you say that
Um,
you're disappointed or surprised that some people that are getting the fold, you feel as though they might be being disingenuous with your audience by hyping it up more than what it probably should be?
well, there's one or two ways that you can go with this,
Okay.
and so if you have access to it, then you can go positive, or you could go negative,
Mm-hmm.
and and you'd just be like, rolling into views. If you don't have it, people will accuse you of being, salty about it or whatever.
Because
But
there's a segment of creators out there that are getting the device and then returning it. That's probably a different conversation though.
well, and that's something that I kind of talked about. I had more of it in the script, and there was more of it in the video before I edited it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want to throw creators under the bus,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it would be like a pretty hypocritical stance
I was
for
gonna say,
me.
yeah.
Um, the thing is, like, at this point, when my channel was small, I really didn't have any choice. If I wanted to make YouTube videos about tech, I had to make my money stretch as far as I could make it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, we got our special guest dropping in.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mr. El Jefe Reviews in the building. the virtual
He's in the
house?
square. He's in the square on my screen. I'm not sure about you, but yeah, he's
Yeah.
right there. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. But yeah,
Finish your thought. Yeah.
I just the idea of buying something that's that big a ticket item,
Mm-hmm.
knowing full well that you can't afford it and you're not going to keep it. I don't know, that it's hard for me to say. It's hard for me to throw stones here.
Yeah.
But there's a difference between, maybe there isn't a difference. I don't know. All I know is, if you're a creator and you're buying the phone just because you want to get the views,
Yeah.
then you're doing it for the wrong reason.
Yeah. And the last time I purchased a device and returned it was the iPhone 10 and the iPhone 8 Plus. That was back in 2017, I guess. Yeah.
I try to go into every purchase that I make with the thought that this is going to be something useful for me, that I'm going to keep it, and it's going to work well for me, and it's going to make my situation better vis-a-vis the tech thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that I try and think about everything that I do when I make these purchases. And so I know people think I'm freaking insane, and I go out and I buy all this stuff, and but really, that's one of the things that I love is that next thing, that thing that will allow you to do this or that. I try not to go laterally,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it's hard. Now with my channel, I can buy the stuff if I want to.
Nice.
Um, but I have to also be prudent and like not empty out my bank account just to buy a phone that I know I don't want to keep.
Mm-hmm. It should be very interesting, the people that are forthcoming and say, hey, I bought it, I'm going to return it later on. I'm betting the majority of those reviews will be, well, this is too much kind of thing, and that's why I returned it kind of thing, just to kind of save face. It should be interesting.
Yeah. I think if you're a creator that's bought it for the express purpose of doing a review, and you're not going to be there to make Galaxy Fold after 3 months video,
Mm-hmm.
then
and I'm finding that more people want to know the long term of devices.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I'm going to do a little self promotion here. I'm trying to pivot my channel into more of a long term. How is the Note 10 after 6 months, or the Note 9, or how is your 10R since you got it in October, kind of thing, right? So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly how I feel, man. I can't. So I made the video saying I'm breaking up with the iPhone, right?
yeah,
And I have not really used the iPhone much at all. And people were like watching my Twitter. And they were like, "Did he really leave the iPhone?" Well, somebody comments like, "Well, it's Twitter for Android," and then like I tweet from my iPhone because it's just what was on the desk, and I picked it up, and people are like, "You didn't."
yeah. Like, you're not allowed to change your mind. You're not human.
I didn't change my mind. I mean, but the fact of the matter is, it makes more sense for me to have both platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I get companies contacting me all the time who say, "Do you want to try out this thing for the iPhone or that thing for the S10 or whatever?" And if I don't have them, then it creates a problem.
Yeah, yeah.
I get
And
an awful lot of offers for like AirPod chargers, and I'm like, I don't even have AirPods, man.
yeah, I know exactly. It's weird, but that's actually a good. It's actually a good segue to why we have Jeff here
There we go.
to talk with us. If you guys don't know Jeff from El Jefe Reviews, he is one of the real up and comers on the headphone / audio review front. He's been killing it recently.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm gonna link.
Yeah.
I'm gonna link Jeff's channel down here in the chat for those of you that maybe want to go check him out. There
Yeah.
you go.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Jeff had an interesting day today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go the way it did.
Jeff, why don't you give us the backstory? He's made a video about this that's totally worth watching. If you go to his channel, it's going to be his most recent video, right?
Yeah, it's going to be the latest video.
Give us the story starting from Sunday.
Well, yeah, so Sunday. So basically, the way it came out was, a company by the name of Bluetio had contacted me, and they had said, "Hey, we want you to check out this product. We're going to send it over." I'm like, "All right, cool, send it." So they send it over. I go through my full battery of testing. I make a quick initial impressions video, ask people what they want to know about the headphones, and then on Sunday I release my full review. Now, this full review was, I was being critical not only of the headphones but also of their company, and also in the video I made recommendations for products of the same price and of the same category that are going to be good alternatives for the buyers, because that's the point of me making these videos, is not for the companies or the brands, it's for the people who are looking to buy these products and for my community. So Sunday night, which 2 nights ago, after they saw the video, they sent me an email basically saying, "Yeah, we saw your video," and they called me a cheater, whatever that is. Shout out to the cheater squad out there.
There was clearly, I mean, this is something that happens when like you get these emails and contacts about products. You're usually, well, not usually, but there's a contingent of folks who, English is not their first language, and so it happens. The poor spelling, the misuse of or lack of words, it happens.
So
and then they took.
Do you want to read the actual letter?
I mean, I could. I have it around here somewhere. But yeah, they, just kind of took some cheap shots. But let's see if I had it around here somewhere.
So while you find it, I'll give another summary. So basically, Jeff was sent some headphones by a company, and this happens quite regularly within the tech niche. A company will reach out to us, or we'll reach out to a company, and it'll be said, hey, we'll send you this. Will you do a review? Hey, no problem. And that's the agreement, right?
Yeah.
We'll do a review. Okay.
Yeah.
And Bluetio basically came across in their response to Jeff in their email, which Jeff will read here in a second, with a lot of entitlement. I guess they thought that it very much seems like they thought that because they're giving Jeff something, the review should automatically be in their favor.
Correct.
And I've literally, I don't know what you, Jeff, I know this has happened to me. I know this has probably happened to you as well, Jeff. I've literally had companies say to me, "We'll send you this as long as you give us a favorable review." And I've said, no. I'll give you a review, and then I don't get a reply back.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's ever asked me that. The closest I've come to that is, if you don't like it, will you not make a video?
I've had favorable review, good review, give us a good video, and I've replied back with, I will give you a fair video, and here is my ethics and moral code video, and to which I never got a reply. And then I've followed up twice saying, are we still doing this? Nothing at all.
Right.
Yeah. Well, here's the email, so we can have it just for context.
Yeah, go ahead and read the email.
So it says, "Hi, I have checked your video of our T7. You not a real YouTuber. You just a cheater that attack our brand to attract some fans. Follow your channel. That's why you still just little fans. Best regards, Tina." So yeah, and it's the thing, like, you know, it's just kind of in poor taste and just kind of unprofessional. Now, people in the comments on the video, I made a response, obviously, and I uploaded that this morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time. And that video really, really went way wider than I had expected.
Twitter exploded.
Yeah. So it was kind of I mean, I'm very humbled by the support that I got from the community about it. You know, like, everybody has my back. And you know, I think that creators don't like seeing other creators being, you know, spoken down to in such a way, like trying to belittle my following and you know, saying that I'm not a real YouTuber because I'm not, you know, because I'm not here to shill for them, you know. And that's the thing that they don't understand. And had they actually done their homework on me and watched one of the many videos I've done on their brand, they would have seen that I've done both positive and, you know, negative reviews of their products. Yeah. So that's, you know, what I don't understand what their expectation was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be frankly honest, like, I've done tons of headphone reviews as well.
Yeah.
And I've never had an experience or gotten any kind of correspondence after a review like what you got from that company.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's almost like somebody's 13-year-old child got a hold of the email account and was mad and sent you an email. But because that's the level of maturity that's being displayed there.
And let's be really clear. This is for me personally. I don't know about everybody else listening or in the chat. I've never heard of Bluetooth until you and Travis did your videos last year.
Mm-hmm.
And there is so much competition in that category, headphones.
Yeah.
Like headphones in general. There's so much out there.
Yep.
Man, you should be happy to have Jeff putting you kind of on the map. And then you come at him like this. The appropriate response from Bluetooth should have been, hey, saw the video, weren't too happy about it. Can we talk to you more in detail about what we can do to fix our product?
Yeah, dude. And that's literally what's happened with other brands. I was expecting that kind of a response, and it just didn't happen.
I think it was GameSki had a conversation similar to that from a brand that came to him and said, hey, saw your unfavorable review of this. What can we do to improve it? I think it was him. I think Travis has had one or two conversations like that, if I recall.
Yeah.
That's the appropriate response. And let's be really clear. And Paul Tech said this in a separate thing a few weeks ago. These brands need us a lot more than we need them.
No, it's right. True, yeah.
So,
yeah.
And it's not like Jeff went out of his way to do a negative review. Anybody that follows Jeff or his channel, you don't just spend 24, 48 hours with a product and then here's my review. It's like a week-long thing, testing battery cycles and recharging and just everything, right? Like you go deep.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be as thorough as I can because there's a lot of questions that come up. And that's basically how I've built my whole review strategy, is based around, you know, when I was doing the first, you know, reviews, people would ask me questions. I'm like, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? So I just have a list now, a checklist of things that I'm going to go through. And this way I can answer as many questions as possible in the video. You know, and that way I can address everything. And people still hit me with questions that I'm not expecting, which is cool.
Right.
But, you know, I try to keep it as thorough as possible and be fair, you know, and if it turns out negative or if I can't recommend it, then it is what it is. But I gotta, it's like my reputation in a sense online. It's my word. It's my, you know, I don't know what better way to say it, but it's my name that's on the line. So
it's your integrity is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's, you know, if I recommend something, I I want to stand behind it. I want to feel good about me saying, hey, you know what? Check that stuff out. It's good. It's a good product.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I want to real quick say thanks to Sean Williams for the $10 super chat. He said, Jeff, you handled the Bluetooth situation with such class. Nice job, bro. And Mark C 609, thank you for the $2 and the sentiments about what you wish to do to Bluetooth.
I guess I missed that.
Here's the thing that I really respect about your process, Jeff, and I think it's really important to point this out. Like, so you review a lot of headphones that you're not reviewing only the Sonys, the Audio Technicas, the Sennheisers, the name brands that are up. We know they're at the top of the headphone heap, and we know what to expect when we buy them. I mean, you're reviewing stuff a lot of times that is low, best thing under $100, under $50, that kind of stuff. And the thing about those kinds of headphones is you might pull them out of the box and put them on, and they might sound pretty good, and you might be like, oh yeah, okay, these sound pretty good. And if you did your review then you'd be saying like, yeah, these sound really good for whatever the price of them are. But the thing about headphones that are in those lower cost tiers is it's like once you live with them for a little bit, do they continue to like, are they a pain in the rear end for some reason?
Yep.
Do they not charge well? Do they not keep a charge? Do they disconnect from your phone when you're using them if they're Bluetooth? And those are the things you can't know until you've used the product for a decent amount of time.
It's thanks to Jeff that I got the Soundcore NCs here from Anchor. I've had these for 6+ months. I couldn't be happier with these. These cost me around 100 US, so 120-ish, whatever Canadian.
Right.
Terrific buy. Yeah, very happy.
Yeah.
What I
stand behind them too.
Yeah.
You know what I saw in Best Buy the other day?
Oh, you were in Best Buy? They let you in?
They yeah, they did. They do let me in sometimes. Anchor is selling headphones and Bluetooth speakers at Best Buy now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, really? Okay,
they've bought a stand up. At least in my Best Buy, they bought a stand up to sit in one of the aisles, and they've got their stuff there. Look pretty good. So Anchor's gone big time.
Nice.
In terms of,
was it their new white packaging boxing, very Apple-ish type looking?
Yeah, it didn't hit me as Apple-ish, but yeah, it's mostly white with
very clean.
Very clean design.
Yeah, they wanted to go through the distributor I used to work with to get into Walmart Canada up here, and I know before I left the company that was still being worked on. So if it's happening now in the United States, it's probably going to happen up here too. So
right,
nice,
right.
I think you can actually. I think they are available at Walmart now, at least here. I think so.
They might be online.
Yeah. Walmart has a lot of Walmart.com does a lot of like drop ship fulfillment stuff. So if you go to Walmart.com, you're ordering from somebody else just using Walmart's portal for a lot of the stuff that's on there. Like that's why it's so hard to navigate their site and find something that they actually do stock in the store.
Yeah.
So let's pivot back to the conversation of, okay, so now we've talked about the Bluetooth thing. Now I've been watching their Twitter all day, and they obviously are not on Twitter enough, or maybe it's just the different time zones, whatever. They haven't responded that way. So
they're heavier on Facebook.
What's that?
They're heavier on Facebook as far as that goes.
Have you seen any sort of response from them yet?
No, I haven't checked. Well, they haven't contacted me, and they haven't said anything to me on Facebook either. So yeah, it's like.
Did you ever reply to her?
Was that directly? No, dude. I was going to, but then I said, you know what? Let my video do the talking. So
interesting.
Yeah, it's just there was only one way for me to respond to this, and that's the way that I responded to it.
Yeah,
so,
I appreciate you, and I know that your audience, your community definitely appreciates this and everything. Let's be really clear. Jeff hasn't said, boycott them or anything like that. That's up to individuals. But I mean, you guys, you should know as an audience, as a consumer, as people that are paying, as opening your wallet, this is the kind of stuff that happens behind the scenes, which brings me to my next question, or I guess kind of next topic I want to ask you guys both about. And that is, what do you guys feel are kind of the standards within our niche, within the tech niche, tech review niche, of what we should and shouldn't be doing with brands, or making clear with them in terms of product for review or sponsorship or something like that?
I don't know. You want to start on that one, Jeff?
Well, I mean, so basically what you're asking is like, what should we make clear as creators to the brands?
Yeah,
Or
I guess what I'm saying is this is let's give a hypothetical. Sony emails you, Jeff. Hey Jeff, we got these great new headphones. We haven't released them yet to the public. Can we send you a pair to do a review?
Yeah.
Your response would be,
Oh, yeah. So basically it would be, it sort of changes, but if it's something that I just kind of want to check out, I'll go ahead and tell them like, listen, I'd be happy to check out your headphones, give you guys honest feedback on them, and we can go from there. It just depends on how things are going at the moment. I may change it up to ask them, what are they looking for? Are they looking for sponsorship, or are they looking for, like pre-roll ads or anything like that? If they have a marketing budget, what are they looking to do? But if they're looking for just a straight up honest review, then I'll say, hey, look, if you're looking just for a straight up honest review, go ahead and send them, and I'll gladly send them back to you. So, and most companies don't even want them back because it costs them more to, pay for the return shipping label.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I tell them straight up, like, this is going to be an honest review, and either they like it or they don't. They'll either say yes or they'll say no.
So the response from you is, it's not just a straight yes, here's my shipping address, send it to me. It's yeah, we can work together, but what kind of work do you want from me? Do you want like a showcase, in which case that could be like a commercial, which could be paid for, correct? Or a review, which you don't pay for, like you said,
Right.
and then the product out, send it back, possibly, correct?
Yeah, because we can showcase an item, which I haven't had the opportunity to do it yet, but it's one of those things, like if somebody wants to pay, like, oh yeah, this video is sponsored by so and so, I can showcase an item, but I'm not going to give you my opinion on it. I'm basically just going to say, here's all the features, here's what it does, here's how it works, and boom, we're done. I haven't had the opportunity to do that. So far it's just been, listen, I'm going to give you, if you guys just want to send it for an honest, opinion, send it over. But they can't be mad after the fact. Like, this is like, hey dude, make a better product and you don't have to worry about getting mad about it.
Yeah.
So that's what it comes down to.
For me, like, when my channel was smaller, like, I didn't tell brands like, I didn't say anything. I was just like, the channel's called Painfully Honest Tech, and if they looked at any of my videos, then they know kind of what my deal is. And so I've never really had anyone make any stipulations about we don't want you to say bad things. Well, recently that happened, but yeah. But like, I don't know. Sometimes, so when I would get stuff, the hardest thing to do, especially with this stuff that's like sort of a lower cost tier, like, somebody got really mad at me in a video because I talked about how a headset or a set of headphones was clearly like made in China, and just implying the sort of manufacturing standards that are just a little bit lower. The plastic's a little bit not as good as something that has the name brand behind it, and at a certain point, I just kind of stopped taking that stuff, because I transitioned away from headphones when the smartphone stuff started taking off, but like, it's interesting. I'm doing more sponsored videos now, and I'm doing more videos now that are like 60-second pre-roll or post-roll ads, right? And so these people are paying money. They have certain stipulations about where they want it, and all that kind of thing. Like, I was working with a brand that didn't want to run on a more controversial video, because that wasn't their brand. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have a list of videos that I'm planning on doing. I let people look at that list and sort of say which ones they would be interested in.
Mhm.
Um, because that's good for their product placement as well. Like if they're a company that has something about Android phones or whatever, then it's good for them to run on something that might be related to the Razer phone or the S10 Plus or whatever. But yeah, I've done a couple of reviews where I was paid to showcase the product, right? Like um, the Nokia's knockoff earbuds. I did a video on those where I was just kind of like, they really did impress me in terms of their sound
Right.
and what they were able to get out of them. And they offered more features than the AirPods actually did at the time. So I made a positive, I gave a positive vibe with the caveat that like I haven't spent the time I would need to know if these will stand the test of time. Right. And so I'm just telling you what my experience is like getting these out of the box, using them for an hour or so, and sort of letting you know what I've found.
Right.
And that's kind of a fine line, and I don't typically like to do that. But so, sometimes as you're coming up and you get these situations where you're being offered things that you don't necessarily feel super comfortable with, but at the same time, like you want to find a way to make it work because you need to start building relationships with brands and that kind of thing. Um, so yeah, there's that transitional period of a certain amount of time where you're in that place where companies might expect something from you.
Yeah.
Just because they either gave you money or they gave you a free product. I mean, this Bluetooth thing just kind of blows me away because I've never had that kind of response from a company. I've said really harsh things about a lot of stuff.
You know, the
Yeah.
thing is, I think based on my knowledge of the company, based on previous experience, and how the quality has kind of gone downhill with them in the last year, you would say, I guess, Jeff, I would
Yeah.
say that I don't think they're going to realize or even care that, you know what I mean? Like they're just not going to contact you back kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see them trying to reach out and trying to make amends and everything like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, here's the thing. Even though, despite the email that they sent, I've already gotten contacted by other creators who they are actively contacting, trying to get
Mm.
reviews for this product after my video has already come out. So it's like basically it's one of those things where they don't. I mean, they care, but they kind of don't
Mm-hmm.
because they know what they're looking for. And the problem is, I'm not going to name any names, but there are other people who review this particular brand, these types of products. Or sorry, there's channels that will review pretty much whatever, or sorry, review or unbox whatever, and always put a positive spin on it, regardless of if it's trash or not.
Mm.
And that's the issue because so long as they give it to those types of channels, they don't have anything to worry about because they're
Yeah.
always going to say it's good because they're just looking for the affiliates. They're looking for the affiliate sales.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And there's a careful balance on giving back feedback and constructive criticism and critiquing a product. I mean, you could go completely this direction and be like, this is crap, and just go nuts. Or you could do what Jeff did and give a fair critique of, here are the goods and here are the bads, and here's why I can't recommend them based on my previous experience. And that holds more value for both you as a channel, your
Mhm.
audience, your community, and the brand.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should be,
Yeah.
right?
That's basically what you're doing.
Tech reviewers should not be afraid to say things about products they don't like. I mean, I'll admit it right now. I absolutely am a huge fan of Nomad, okay? Because their products have always been really good. They're very high quality, And so for that reason, I hold them at this, like they better be coming here when they send me something. Okay. And I did a review on, I can't hold it up because it's plugged in here, but I did a review on their wireless, not the hub, not the mat, that the air power ish type mat thing, but the circular one that has the different wires in it. And my only gripe with it really was the fact that it's flat and it doesn't tilt up, because I like to have my phone on an angle so I can still see it.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was fair feedback. When they saw the video, they said, awesome, we're actually thinking putting that in the next generation one a year from now.
Nice.
So like, and that's how it should be, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
how hard is it to take? But see, that's the thing. That's the difference between some brands and others. And here's the thing, and I do have to give benefit of the doubt, because it's entirely possible that she messaged me without, without having the ability or what's the right word? The authority from the company to say this to me on their letterhead, basically representing this company. So that's entirely possible. But if she wanted to come at me sideways, then she should have just used a personal email or not done it at all. But still, so I have to kind of give them that. We never know. I mean, it could be that somebody else from that company might reach out and say, "Hey, we are looking for some feedback." Who knows? The ball is in their court to respond. They have to do what they need to do. So just waiting to hear back if I hear back.
I mean, when I was watching the discussions that were going on today, and I know people have said that the quality of their stuff has like not been the same recently. It's entirely possible that somebody bought the company.
Yeah. Totally.
Or bought the name and are because a lot of these headphones are being like mass produced and then somewhat customized for, you get your brand name or your logo or something like that on them, but they're all basically the same headphone.
Yeah.
And so, if they just bought the name or they bought the company, then that could explain them acting in a way contrary to what they might have acted before.
Yeah. I mean, this could all actually all work out in their favor as well. Let's say hypothetically they reach out to you, Jeff, and they say, "Hey, we saw the video. We know we messed up. How can we make this better?" And then hopefully that, starts a conversation. And then, 3 months from now, "Hey, I got these new whatever model it is, and here's what Bluetooth did, and here's our checkered past. And just so you know, community, this is how they try to rectify things." I mean, it could end up being a good thing for them if they play their cards right. So
basically that's what it comes down to. It's I'm like I said, I'm leaving the ball open in their court to see what they want to do. The main issue is for the most part, I'm not really interested in even checking out any more of their stuff, even though I've got at least 50 requests to check out some of their other brand new products that they're just dropping right now. But it's like, nah, dude, not after that, and not after even saw all the stories and everything that's gone on about their customer service and the kind of BS that they put people through the ringer. The comments section of the video today, because I asked people, hey, if you guys have a good experience with them, leave it there. If you guys have had a bad experience with them, share it with me. And dude, the stories that are in there, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
It's insanity. Like one dude, they were completely defective, and he bought I think they were a $99 set of their headphones. They were completely defective. They were offering him a 10% refund for a completely defective headphone. They were like, "Oh yeah, we'll give you $10." Like, what do you mean give me $10? Like to get in? And I think one dude, they told him, "Oh, here's $20. Go get it repaired locally." Like, wait, what?
Yeah, who repairs headphones locally?
Yeah, where's my headphone repair guy?
Yeah, it's like those people don't exist. I mean, maybe they exist. I'm sure they exist in China, in a place like Shenzhen, China, where I mean, that's everything that happens there is centered around that tech industry. But in a lot of the rest of the world, there's not a such thing as like a headphone repair guy. And would you repair a set of $100 headphones anyway?
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point, man. And that's, like I said, I leave the door open for them to make things better or whatnot. But honestly, I mean, considering the trajectory that they've been on and the way that they've been treating customers and stuff, I'm not at all. I don't have any faith in them improving anytime soon. I was hoping they would after the last 3 or 4 had come out. because they do things like Apple, right? They have a T4, they have a T4S, and they do a T5, they have a T5S, they do a T6, they have a T6S. So they've been doing that sort of incremental stuff, but
Right.
each one has just been either the same or worse. And it's just like, come on, man, you guys need to be improving, not making things worse. But
Right.
yeah,
Right. Tech Free Needs in the chat says it doesn't matter if the company's bought, you still have to keep it professional. It's called constructive criticism to make your product better. Yeah, and I think that's true.
Yep.
I can understand it from the standpoint of the manufacturer as well. Like, if they send out a product that they're hoping they're going to sell, and then it's not received well in the review community, then that's going to affect their sales. I can do a review of Apple or Samsung or anything like that. I can review a product and say whatever I want to say. At the end of the day, it's not really going to affect Apple or Samsung's bottom line when it comes to selling their phones.
Yeah.
That's
what it comes down to, man. They have to be able to take the hits as they come and respond constructively. And it's almost like the response almost felt like I had smacked her dog or something. I'm like, what? It's like, why are you personally insulted by my video? Like, I don't understand. Like, I didn't see the separation there. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as we know, people get personally insulted by videos all the time, even when they don't have anything to do with them.
That's so true.
No way.
Yeah, man. This most recent video, let me tell you, it's just really surprising.
And let's be really clear again, kind of summarize what you guys were talking about when I asked you guys about your approach with brands and everything. If you're a creator, it doesn't matter if you have 10 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, whatever. When a brand comes to you, and this is just constructive advice. You can run your business and your channel however you want, but this is just what I'm gathering from what I've learned from Jason, and I know how Jason approaches things and how what Jeff just said here. When a brand approaches you and says, "Hey, we want to send you this to do a video," kind of thing, you should be responding back to them saying, what kind of video do you want? Because we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, and really get everything kind of laid out. And it doesn't have to be a long, complicated email. Just kind of point form. This is what I can do, and this is maybe my pricing if you're looking for this kind of thing, and just make sure everything is laid out properly before you get the product. So that there's no fuzzy, or we thought you meant, or you had it in an email and you're like, no, I never sent that. And just so it's all laid out. Right.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing that you can do if you're in a position where you feel like you don't know what they're asking for and they can't tell you is just send them your media deck and say, this has my pricing for the different things that we could do. We can talk from there if you're still interested. And then most people will most brands that don't have a marketing budget will just not respond.
So I'll give you an example. I don't know if these guys are related, but I got an email recently from a company called Dudios.
Oh, Dudios is okay.
Okay. So they came to me and they said, "Hey, we want you to check out our wireless headphones." To which I replied to her saying, "Hey, I don't normally focus on that on my channel, but what kind of content are you looking for?" And their response was, we're looking for someone to showcase the product and show all the great stuff. And it did it like that. I'm paraphrasing what she said here. Okay.
Right.
So I came back and I said, what did I put it here? I said, what is your budget? Because now we're talking about doing a showcase. It would be considered a sponsored video. The sponsored video button will be clicked, so it'd be very clear for my audience. And they haven't got back to me. Now I only replied back to them a couple hours ago, so I'm assuming I'm going to get a reply.
Right.
Yeah.
But if they come back and they say, "Well, we don't have a budget," I'll say, "Listen, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Send them to me. It'll be a review, unbiased review, and I'll tell my audience that you sent these to me in exchange for a review, and that's it. That's the end of the conversation." Right? Do the video and maybe give them a timeline if I want to. And that's it. And that's as simple as it needs to be. That's it. Doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah. And on a quality note, Dudio's headphones are not bad. Like I use their
Well, I knew I
Bluetooth
recognized the
earbuds,
name.
and they're
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I use their wired, like their Bluetooth earbuds where they have the wire connecting them, and
Mm.
they were really good. And then I've had a few of my other audio creator buddies who have reviewed their true wireless stuff, and they've given them rave reviews. So
These are
supposedly
their
they sound
true
really good.
wireless. So
Yeah, they're
yeah,
supposed to be good. They haven't reached out to me, but they're supposed to be really good.
it's kind of
Right.
funny because she sent me this email a week ago. I didn't reply, and then she sent it again earlier this week. So I don't know if they're making the rounds or whatever.
Jeez,
But I
interesting.
mean, it's like that's how you build a relationship and everything. And you as a creator, again, this is for creators, you have the right, and you should be asking these questions and everything, but not only protect yourself and everything, and just to make sure everything's clear and clear as mud, right? So
Right. Yeah. At the end of the day, like, it only gets more. I found that it gets more complex to do this and maintain integrity. Like, we've all, as creators, we've all heard stories about other creators who do things differently.
Yeah.
mhm.
And I know I don't know what to say about that. And doing things and having integrity is incredibly important to me, and I know it is to you guys as well, and I know it is to a lot of the people that we follow and a lot of people that are our friends.
Mhm.
But I feel like some people, maybe they're on YouTube and they're just kind of like, yeah, cool, I get some free stuff,
Yeah.
whatever.
There's tons of people out there, and
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
fully admit that I was one of those people when I was first started venturing outside of reviewing products, because the way my channel started originally is I was unboxing and showcasing products for the company I worked for.
Right.
And then when I started having companies emailing me and sending me stuff randomly to my PO box, I'm like, this is cool. I'm getting free stuff. And it lasted for about 6 months. And then I really wanted to kind of bear down my channel and go, okay,
Yeah.
would I really use a spin pop? No, it's a piece of crap.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So
I think everybody goes through that phase where they're like, oh, people are offering me stuff. Yeah, bring it on.
mhm.
Yeah.
And I've had that experience, and then like found myself stuck in a position where I've got more videos than I can make.
Yep.
And I don't want to make a video about that.
Mhm.
But I've already said that I would do it, right? So I mean, I got called out on Twitter today by Armadillo Tech Cases.
Oh yeah, they're
They
great
sent
people.
me this. They sent me a box of cases for the S10, and they came. Then we like rearranged some stuff and moved some stuff around in the house, and then I was like, I asked my wife. I was like, do you know where that box went? And she's like, I have no idea. So
Listen, man, it's cool. You're not gonna miss them anyway.
yeah, but the thing is, like, I felt bad that I said, I would do it,
Yeah.
and I didn't follow through, right? And I've done that on some occasions, and for a lot of different reasons, but it's really hard to say, I'm gonna everything that you send me, I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna give it the same kind of attention that I give everything else.
Do you not
You know?
remember my run-in with them?
Not entirely, no.
Oh man. How do I summarize this? I had made what I think it was Jonathan Morrison had a post on, or no, it was Travis. Travis had a post on his Instagram with like the shoe wall from TLD Studios,
Right.
and I made a comment, and the whoever runs the Armadillo Tech made a comment, basically insulting me straight back, right?
Mhm.
About wearing women's shoes or something like that, basically, and use some colorful language and everything. And I called them out on Twitter, and then they went ballistic, like
Oh, yeah.
full on tantrum, 6-year-old, right?
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, I was in the wrong there for taking the cases in the first place. Because I mean, if you look at my channel, I don't really do case reviews.
Yeah.
It was just one of those cases where they reached out to me on Twitter, and I was like, yeah, great, send them along.
Mm-hmm.
and so I put myself in a position um where I shouldn't have put myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Armadillo Tech,
And-
they I won't deny that they probably make a good product. It's just they acted so unprofessionally with their interactions with me that I felt it warranted, kind of throwing them out there and saying, "Hey, creators, this is what happens when you kind of stand up." And even technically, D put on there, Armadillo Tech needs to know how to do business with creators a little pushy. Like I said, I don't deny they make a good product, but okay, so you guys all know how D brand is on those social media, right?
Right.
They're kind of the swag, they're very arrogant and the swagger and everything, but it's funny, right? It's kind of like when Wendy's claps
Right.
back at people, right?
Yeah.
Armadillo Tech's trying to do that, but they come across as dicks. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
so that's what happened with me with them, and that's why I have no interest. In fact, I actually thought about doing a video cussing them out, but I didn't, because that's not what this channel is. So,
Yeah,
but
the way that they called me out today was very interesting because,
what did they say?
well, first they're like, they wanted to know if I wanted to, like, if they could sponsor a video where I cover the Galaxy Fold. And I was just like, yeah, sure, let's talk about it. And then he like went off on this, or he or she or whoever it is, went off on, like, I only do business with honest people, and et cetera, et cetera. And I mean, there's nothing I can do but own it. I wasn't, I didn't do what I said I was going to do, and I have to pay more attention to that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on me. But so I wasn't going to be a jerk to them, but then again, I don't know. I don't know what they're expecting to get. I guess that's the thing. Like, they're sending me cases gratis, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what, it wasn't clear what they were expecting to get.
Yeah. So this goes back to
And
how
so,
expectations should be set and
yeah,
everything, right?
right. So that's the whole, that was where the whole misunderstanding began.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, we had a super chat a little bit ago from Kabooma1 asking thoughts on the Raycons. Flossie Carter has me thinking about getting a pair. So I haven't had experience with those.
I tested. So basically, some of the Raycons are rebranded from a different brand. I'm trying to remember what the name was, but I did try a pair of those. I didn't review them, but it was the ones that I tried are what Raycon are selling, I think, for right around 100. So I replied to the guy saying, don't get the cheaper ones, because they have some that I think are like their E50, and Flossie Carter roasted the hell out of those. So so it's like they're upper niche ones. I think their X90 Titan are supposed to be pretty good and pretty loud, but personally, I haven't bought them myself either. Just I've got enough on my plate as it is.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I'm holding off on that for right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing from my perspective as well, is that, like, I've made where I was in February and where I am now are even very different places. So,
Yep.
I'm now in this relationship with Studio 71, and the guy that I'm working with, my channel manager, like, basically I was handling all these things myself. Things would come in and I would handle them, and it would be, I'm not very good at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he was like, why aren't you sending these to me? And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know you guys would. I knew that they were looking at stuff on their end for me, but not the other way around. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
And now things are moving along, and I have to look at what I'm doing in different ways. Like, this is going to sound like, this is going to sound bad, but I don't think it is. And I don't know if it's like one of those things that you just don't you don't understand until you're put in the position. But like, I'm at a place right now where I can't really do things for free.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And I've kind of put myself in a position where I didn't want to do reviews for free. I didn't want to do, or for, for money. I didn't want to put myself in that kind of position, although I have a few times because it helped, it was a means to an end, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm doing mostly these brand integrations, and so I can't really work. It's hard for me to work with a company that it would make sense for me to do an integration with that doesn't have a budget to do that integration.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense because of your channel size and the access to your audience. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely,
I get that.
dude. You have value, man. That's the problem that we have in this community as creators, is that there's I mean, everybody can run their channel the way they want to run it. This is exactly the conversation that we've had before. Everybody can run their channel the way they want to run it. But here's the problem for those of us who want to run it in a way like we actually have value for ourselves and what we bring to the community, and what we bring, the value that we bring to brands and companies as well. Because, when we, like, let's say any of my videos that have been up for, a year or more, it's literally a free advertisement and they're getting a ton of views. When people are looking for this product, they hit Google and the first result they get is one of my videos.
Mm-hmm.
That's value.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And if you have an audience like yours, Jason, they need to go through the proper channels and do what they got to do. There's no excuse not to.
Yeah, I guess because it's relatively new to me to be in. I mean, to be in this position where I have to take my time seriously.
Yeah.
In order to, like, I want to be able to make the videos that I want to make, and a lot of times those videos are not necessarily product based. It's more like straight up commentary or something like that.
Yeah, in that case you want to get like a sponsor for the video.
Yeah. And so when
but
people,
it also has to be something you believe in, correct? That's the tricky part, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm working with, I've got Squarespace, I've got Audible. I'm starting to do some stuff for. I've got a couple others that, I mean, Squarespace and Audible, I've used both of those products. I mean, I've been an Audible subscriber for like 10 years or more.
See, that's huge. That's why they should totally be working with you, because not only are they going to work with you now, you've been their customer, forever, right?
Right. Yeah. And I've made a couple of different websites with Squarespace, which is, so that's what I can say. Like, I use this product.
Yeah.
And then, like, for the one that I did yesterday for this PDF app, I downloaded the app. I fooled around with it. I played with it it was part of me making the ad, and I found it to be pretty darn good. So I was like, okay, I mean, I feel comfortable with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I've been looking around, like, my everyday stuff and everything, and I've reached out to the beard oil company that I buy stuff from, and I've already started a conversation with them saying, hey, I know this is outside of your normal marketing, but I've been buying your stuff for the last 5 years. Would you like to be a sponsor on videos or my channel? And it makes sense because it's something I really like using.
Yep.
And you guys have quality stuff, and I can speak to it because I've been buying for 5-6 years now.
Yep.
What do you think? And they're going to get back to me. They actually like the idea.
Yeah.
So that's
cool.
huge. So I don't like it when creators do ad drops or sponsored by it, and you can clearly tell this is something they don't use.
Yeah.
They've never used this.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
The hardest thing about it is, like, I don't want to do the cringy segue.
Yeah.
Like, speaking of something to crunch data with,
okay, well, let's be really clear. Renee's really good at that. Linus
is, I think Linus is purposefully bad at it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's almost
so
become a
good.
meme now, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like the cringy transitions are part of the Linus thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Renee is pretty good at it, but
Yeah.
for me specifically, I don't really want to do that because I almost feel like sometimes I feel like my videos are actually like a mini performance, and
Mhm.
to break it up in an inorganic way like that would be weird.
Yeah.
So most of what I think I'm going to end up doing is putting stuff at the front or at the back of a video.
That's
Mhm.
your
And
best bet, honestly. That way you don't have to break up the flow of what you've got going on.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like I had an ad that company needed the ad to go out yesterday,
Mhm.
but I got a wild hair about this Galaxy Fold stuff.
Mhm.
So I wanted to make a Galaxy Fold video. But I actually went as far as to like drop it in where it should go, the ad. And it just completely ruined the video.
Mm.
You know, and I was back and forth with Roberto. I was like, I can't put this in there, but it's got to go out today. So what do I do? And he's like, make another. I was like, I guess I could make another video. And so he was like, yeah, make another video. So that's what I did. I mean, it's not maybe one of my best videos ever. Unboxing of the new Astro A40s, an unboxing of a headset that I had already taken out of the box and used a little bit.
It looks pretty cool though, man. I watched the video and I'm like, oh man, I'm impressed. That looks pretty good. I like that the little mixer it came with, man. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
I'm
I still need to
intrigued.
watch it. Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
intrigued.
The mix amps in the past have looked way more gamery,
Mhm.
you know, kind of
Mhm.
like these weird little boxes that are sort of at an angle, and they sort of went in a super different direction than I expected. I didn't expect for something. I mean, that looks like a little audio interface, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just got those couple of dials on it, and it would sit on my desk, you know, my Mac desk here. It would sit on this nicely. It would sit nicely with a PC or, you know, with your PlayStation. So I'm like, okay, I'm pretty impressed. And they always have good packaging, so I wanted to showcase the packaging. But again, like I've used them for an hour or so, so I can't really say much about the quality. I mean, Astro's known for a certain kind of quality, and
Yeah.
it depends on who you're talking to as to what kind of quality that is, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, whenever a major gaming headset company like Astro puts out a new version of one of their flagship products, like it's worth talking about.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. They have a huge following, man. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a same thing, you know, like HyperX has a huge following for their headsets and Razer with their line and everything. So yeah, there's a lot of that stuff.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. So I I find myself in a position. I'm trying to start to think about like, okay, what am I gonna do when I'm done with the day job?
You're gonna make videos.
I'm gonna make a freaking lot of videos,
Yeah, yep,
you
that's what
know,
it is. You gotta,
and
yeah, time management's gonna be key, man.
yeah. Well, I mean, the one thing that's good about, you know, having worked as a creative in a day job is that the process of sitting down and starting to work and doing the work and getting it done is something that I've sort of learned over time, and so, you know, well, today was kind of a lost day because I only slept. I think it was Septian earlier said I looked really tired. I only slept 4 hours last night.
Oh man,
um
same here, dude. Same here.
and it mostly because for the past several weeks I have not been able to go to bed before like 2 or 3 a.m.
Oh man.
Man, why
I
don't you
don't.
look me up? I usually don't hit the sack till like 1 or 2. Yeah.
Yeah, I but the thing is, like, I have to get up at 7.
Mm.
I have to get up at 7 to take my daughter to school, like, you know, 3 or 4 days a week, and my wife, who works out of town, takes her 1 or 2 days a week. But I don't like to sleep in anyway, because I need to get up and, you know, get through my email and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I need to get more sleep. I need to get better sleep.
Yeah.
But I bought my wife like a brand new like memory foam mattress.
Oh yeah.
Because we basically traded rooms. Like this
Did you get a
room.
Casper?
No, a company called Nectar.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I think I've heard of them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't heard too much about them, but I did some web searching and several places were ranking them highly. And then I read I read the reviews on their website, and there weren't really any negative ones.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're always kind of rolling the dice if you're ordering a mattress online.
There's a company up here in Canada. They're very similar to Casper, I guess. They got that purple foam stuff.
Yeah.
They're called, they're called Endy, ENDY, and they've actually reached out to me twice so far about.
Yeah,
setting
if there are any mattress companies out there and want to offer me a queen size,
I'm just nervous because I hear the stories about how they recycle these, and ugh.
see, you get paranoid about this stuff.
I know. It's like bed bugs in my Apple store. What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Nasty.
Just don't sit on the floor. And you'll be good. They won't jump in your pockets.
So can we do something fun?
Sure.
Because I talked to you about this before. Okay, so we have a good friend, Dom Esposito.
Yes.
He has a channel outside of his regular tech channel called Box Attack,
Right.
where he unboxes like the Funkos.
Mhm.
Jeff, you know the Funkos, right? I'm not sure.
No, I've seen. I'm subscribed to that channel.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
he looks for the limited edition like Funkos. They make they have all sorts of different licenses out there. Game of Thrones, Marvel, Harry Potter, like it's everything, right?
Right.
Through his channel, and actually before that, I came across another channel called Cool Toy. Is it Cool Toy? No, Toy Cool. Anyway, he's done a few unboxings and this and that on like the arcade machine behind me here and a lot of retro things and everything.
Right.
And the guy on that channel recently did an unboxing of these right here. I'm going to show you guys. Focus
Oh,
this
the little
in.
Street Fighters. Yeah, those things are cool.
These they're called Loyal Subjects.
Uh-huh.
So they're a direct competitor. They're called Loyal Subjects. They're a direct competitor with the Funko. So I actually ordered 2 of them. They're a blind box. So I'm gonna there's 10 different Street Fighters in this one here. So there's Ryu, Bison, Ken, Chun-Li, Sagat, Zangief, Guile, Vega, Honda, Blanca. Right? I'm a big Street Fighter fan. I've got the shirts and everything. So I got these finally showed up. They took forever. I ordered these a long time ago. So it's a blind. I have no idea which ones are inside these boxes, but I wanted to open these with you guys because
it's really a ring pop.
Huh?
It's really a ring pop.
So I wanted you guys because I just think it's really cool. I like the Funkos, but these look like they have even more detail. So, all right. So in here, so there's like a little card thing. There's nothing on it, but I got in here. There she is, Chun-Li.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
So let me see if I can focus that in for you guys. Chun-Li.
Nice.
Chun-Li. So I just wanted to open that in front of you guys. Yeah, but you can change their pose and everything like that.
Right.
Looks really cool.
That is cool.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but look for her in the background of the next video.
Nice, man. But yeah, no, it's good, man. I'm glad that things are going this way for Jason, man. Things are looking up, man, and I'm happy to see this journey happen.
I'm interested to see the fallout from the Bludio thing. But I just have a strong feeling they're probably not going to reply at all.
Most likely, dude. Most likely, because I mean, right now it's like this went a lot wider than I had expected. I expected like you guys and the squad to like check it out and do your thing and retweet or whatever. But I wasn't expecting the.
Well, Jonathan Morrison called them out. Yeah, he retweeted your thing saying, "Yeah, I don't think I'm going to feature you guys anymore," because you know how sometimes John puts stuff like in the backgrounds and everything. Right?
He put their. Remember when he did that video with 50 products or something like that? He had one of their headphones in there.
Right.
So I think that's probably why. But yeah, I mean, it's like all these guys, man. I mean, John Morrison and John Prosser, and now as of a few minutes ago, John Redinger, and I mean just a bunch of people, man. You guys included, and everybody. It's just it's I don't know, man. Like I said, it's humbling to feel that how the whole community has my back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like nobody wants to see that happening. So it's cool, man. I'm super appreciative of it.
So
Yeah.
so this one, Bison.
Nice.
Someone in the chat actually said Bison. Anon. My guess, Bison. So I got Bison and Chun Li.
Yeah.
Very
Right
cool.
on.
You gotta fix Bison's foot though, man.
Oh yeah. Well, he's kind of retarded there. There we go. Good call.
Oh man.
These are cool. These are really detailed.
One thing I don't know if manufacturers, companies out there know that
Sorry.
in like in a community that's relatively small compared to like, the gaming community or something like that.
Mhm.
A lot of us know each other or know of each other. So, if you're going to treat somebody crappy, then you better know that there's a good possibility that they're friends with somebody that you really want to do business with.
Yeah, that's the thing,
You know,
man.
not
It's
to say that they don't want to do business with you, but I mean, it's
right.
like, as a smaller creator in the tech space, I hate it when people say that, but anyway,
Yeah.
as a smaller creator, it can be kind of daunting. Like you don't feel like you really have any leverage against anything, but when guys like John and John and John
Right.
Wow, we know a lot of Johns, eh?
and they're all spelled Jon. That's really weird.
Yeah.
But when they step up and like let their community know about what's going on, I think that's really important. I think it's really cool.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Um,
I'm super super appreciative of it because I'm just like it's like even when I first posted the video, mine is 5 a.m. for me, so I got up super early to post that video to make
I
sure
couldn't
that
believe it. I woke up to your video, my notification going off. Like, what's Jeff doing at 6 a.m.?
yeah, like the first dude. But what tripped me out the most was the very first comment was from Kevin the Tech Ninja, Kevin Nether.
Yeah, I
And
saw him on there.
I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, like I couldn't like it was immediate. As soon as I refreshed it for the comments, his was there. I was like, what the?
Has he
So
worked with them?
I don't think so, but it was just I think he had a similar situation with a different brand on a different type of product,
Mm-hmm.
right.
but that somebody basically had said something along those types of lines to him before too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's just crazy, man. I mean, it's nuts, man. I'm thankful for all of this, man. I'm just thankful to have all you guys having my back. It's just, it was overwhelming. Like when it all started kind of going down, and I was driving to work, and then people were like super retweeted. Like my phone, dude, was just buzzing all day long.
Well,
So
I don't
it was
think people
crazy.
would have your back unless we knew and we know that you're 100 with all your reviews, and you're on the same level with every brand. Like nobody gets kind of a pass because you're this brand or that brand, right?
Right,
So
right.
that's because that's from you did that from the start of your channel, right? From the beginning kind of thing, right? You set that pattern, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
is.
It's somebody said it sounds like a high school clique. Um, uh, maybe a little bit. Sometimes there can be some tech community drama, just like any you know.
No, of course. I mean, that's the truth, man. It's just kind of but it's cool when the community really comes together. Like this is just something small. Let's look back last week when we found out about Greg passing away,
Right.
and look at the way the community came together for that. That was beautiful.
Pretty
Yeah.
huge.
It's
Yep.
sad, rest in peace, but the way that they came together to try to help out his family, I mean, that's the kind of community, that's the good that can come out, because there's always interpersonal dramas and things like that that happen between us as creators, or things that happen on Twitter or whatever it might be. But when something bad happens, it's kind of cool to see how we all kind of rally together to try to
Right.
make things better. So it's cool, man. I like seeing that.
Yeah. I posted the link to the GoFundMe and some information about what had happened on my community tab. And I went back, I posted something else on my community tab, and I noticed there were a bunch of comments on that post. And I was like, oh, there's a bunch of comments here. I'll take a look at them. And half of them were like negative.
There were some dumb ones, and I hope you don't repeat them.
No,
But yeah.
I mean, but people were like, well, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, there have been GoFundMe has had some ups and downs in terms of like, you know, people trying to take advantage of their system.
Mhm.
And so maybe that makes some people nervous. But here's a guy. Oh, look, it's our friend John from
Hey, it's that Front Page Tech channel.
Yeah. I mean, I assume it's John. Maybe it's Brian, but I assume it's John.
Maybe it's Brian.
but I mean, here's a young person, mid-30s, passes away suddenly,
Mhm.
and he's got 2 kids and a wife, and I don't know what he did for his like regular job or anything like that, but I mean, to see the community that was sort of about the thing that his channel was about come together and say, this is a thing that we should, this is a terrible thing that happened, and even if it's just retweeting and posting on a community tab or whatever,
Mhm.
spreading the word, we could help this family.
Yeah.
And
Like, I didn't know Greg very well. I only watched maybe a handful of them over there. But now I'm going back through and everything like that. But I always, like, whenever I watched Greg and everything like that, I always enjoyed it. Like, it was always an enjoyable experience. There was always value there. There was always a good time.
yeah, the first thing that I watched of theirs was like they had done a blind listening test on the AirPods.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
And
Yep.
and so somebody like linked it to me or something, and I watched that. His name was Greg. I can't remember what his last name is right off the top of my head. What was the channel's name again? I'm blanking.
Technically speaking.
Technically speaking, and it was
Yep.
like it was sort of a 2-man team. They did like longer form content where it was almost like podcasty.
They actually have the live stream. There's a live stream dedicated to Greg coming up this Thursday.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I noticed on the channel there. Anyway, continue on. Sorry, Jason.
But I mean, at this moment, like reaching out and supporting somebody who's had a terrible thing happen to them, I don't know how that can be a negative thing, but plenty of people seemed my community tab is I get some of the most negative comments that I get, period, on my community tab. I don't understand why, but I looked today. I saw somebody had linked the GoFundMe again, so I just clicked on it to look and see, and they've raised almost $36,000.
Yeah. The goal was 1,000.
Yeah. And
Do you mind if I link the live stream episode so people can put reminders on? Okay.
No, that's fine. That's totally
so
fine.
guys, that episode, it's just titled right now, Technically Speaking Live, Greg's episode. It's this coming Thursday, so April 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
Yeah.
Here is the link, and you can go in there and you can click the reminder on. I think it would be just awesome.
Yeah.
If the community just flooded that stream.
Yeah.
Right.
So John says the comments in the community tab are from a whole different species. I swear it's awful.
It is. It can be rough sometimes.
It's nice to know that I'm not the only one who like it's a community tab. Great. And I get to hang with the people that like my channel.
Yeah.
No. Like, it's really weird. But
it's definitely a weird creature too, the way it works and everything, because it's like I have to go and check it. If I post something there, like I don't get notifications for things.
No.
So I have to go like check it and be like, okay. It's like, whoops.
It's another one of those YouTube features where they introduced it and it seemed like a pretty cool idea, a way for you to like interact with the folks that watch your videos, or get other folks to learn about who you are or whatever. But it seems like they just kind of dropped it.
Yeah. It was interesting because everybody wanted it and was kind of complaining, including myself. I was like, how come I don't have it? Right. There's channels smaller than me that had it, and then everybody got it, and everybody went nuts for it for a while, and then it just kind of died off, which
Right.
I think might even be better for the viewer.
In the
Right?
end, probably, I would say, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done like now they have stories like Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah,
I
I
guess
still don't have access to that.
I don't know if I do or not. Um, honestly, like because I don't quite get it. I don't get the stories.
It's you kind of got to be in that Snapchatty or Instagram story type of vibe where you're accustomed to just talking about like your day or whatever it might be. The best use case that I've seen so far, by far, is Andrew Edwards. The way that he uses like Instagram stories, Facebook, and YouTube stories.
Like
That's
a
like,
vlogging type thing. Yeah.
yeah, but it's
Yep.
I mean that guy's excellent at doing that stuff. Like I'm watching what he's doing and I'm like I'm studying because he knows what he's doing as far as that goes.
So he does sort of like a vlog style thing.
Yeah, you should
What-
check it out, man. If you pull it up on your phone, usually I almost every single day I'll see him on Instagram or even Facebook sometimes too. So he's
Yeah,
got a lot of stuff in there, man.
yeah. I mean, that's Instagram is something that I keep thinking like, man, I got to get on there. I love seeing stuff from other people. Um,
Growing
but
Instagram is actually quite easy as long as you can dedicate the time for it, like 3 or 4 times a day. Just
right,
follow the formula. Not just the Gary V formula, but Roberto did a really good video
Yeah,
on
hey,
it because I actually followed the formula, his formula for 2 weeks, and I saw really great growth, and then it just kind of fell off, right? So,
right.
yeah.
Hey, if there are any mods, well, I guess I can do it myself.
what you got?
Eric's Martin is gone.
Ah.
So let's remove that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, because I mean, let's move past
Gotcha.
evil shit.
Yeah,
So anyway, like, yeah, I really want to get. I really want to. I really want to get better at it. It's like I'm just at that point where it's like, Christ, there's all this stuff that I want to do, and I just can't put anything else on my plate. And I can't stop talking about this freaking leaving my job thing. But but it's like I look at the money that I'm making and I'm like, I'll be okay.
What's the tentative date? Have you given a date yet?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking May 31st
Hmm.
because that's, the semester will be over, graduation will have happened, and
Mhm.
it's usually a little bit sort of in a down period
Yeah.
but at the same time, like, I I just don't ever want to put myself in the position as somebody my age with the responsibilities that I have with my family that to like be like, oh, I don't have enough to like cover the bills this month.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I mean, it's a big step, man. It's not a joke,
Yeah,
and it's something that you've been thinking about for a long time. And obviously, there's going to be some trepidation here. I
yeah,
mean,
And don't forget the support you have. I don't mean financially, but I mean to help guide along your ways. You're going to have, obviously Roberto Blake is a huge one. I
yeah.
just realized that in Jeff's background, his lighting and the way the shadow is, whatever it is, it looks like the Batman symbol.
it is.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the other side of the blinds. It's actually check it out here. I'll pull it open for you so you can see. Oh, check it out.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Jeff is Batman.
That's nice.
Jeff is Batman.
It's for light control and sound. It doesn't work very well, but it's the place that I live in has really poor weather stripping. So in the wintertime, it got so cold in here we could see our breath. So I had to put blankets up over all the doorways because my wife's anemic. So I had to try to keep her warm, man, because we don't want to run a heater because it's going to be freaking our power bill's going to go through the roof.
Yeah.
But that's why
Right.
there's blankets. Like they'll be coming down here soon, actually this week, because we're supposed to hit the 80s Fahrenheit here this week. So
Yeah, we were supposed to be in the 70s here in Iowa today. So of course I didn't leave the house because I was
It was plus 12 here today, whatever the translation is. So
plus 12.
yeah. Well, I think that's like
It was warm.
44 degrees.
No, it's not that low.
All right,
So
so it's supposed to be like
30
27.
so freezing.
We always go through this. Where's the translation?
I don't know. So freezing is 32 degrees for us, but 0 for you, right?
Right.
So you take the 12 and add it to 32, and you get
Okay, so
44.
12 is actually 53 Fahrenheit.
Okay, then none of it makes any sense. Everything I know about the world is wrong.
But I was saying anyway, you have people to I mean, it seems like you got a really good channel manager in the people at Studio 71.
Yeah.
So you got that, and you should start sending those emails over to that dude. And then of course you've got your access to Roberto Blake and everything like that through the Awesome Creator Academy he has, and obviously through Twitter and everything. He is obviously a friend as well. So I think you need to not freak out as much. That's just my advice.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I appreciate that. It's just one of those things. Like,
You got me. I'm always here.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Zach. Like I wanted to start the memberships on the channel. I was like,
They haven't given you access though, have they?
No, I guess at some point they made it so you had to at some point they made it so you had to apply for it, and I never applied because people were just getting it before. And so I asked my channel manager about it, and he looked into it, and he's like, yeah, I guess now you have to apply, and there's a 9-month waiting list.
What? No.
You know what the thing is with that? There's been a lot of channels. There's been a lot of channels that did the membership thing, and I jumped on board with a number of them. And slowly over the last few months, since February, March, April, I guess last 2 or 3 months, there just hasn't been anything used in that kind of thing. So I have to kind of like look at it and go, well, what am I paying for? That's me as a consumer, right? So
yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's one of the reasons why I like the idea behind Patreon. I mean, it's based on the patron system, and so you want to give people extra value. And I have a Patreon. If you want to check it out, you can go look up Painfully Honest Tech on patreon.com if you feel like throwing me a couple of bones a month. But I didn't have my tiers and like what I was going to do for people. It's like I couldn't have really thought it out until I tried something and it didn't work, So one of the first things that I'm going to do here in the next couple of months or month or so is try to get back on that Patreon and kind of start to build it up again, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to share with folks. One thing that I've been thinking is like, maybe if we're doing these live streams of the podcast, like they stay available for, the time that we're doing them, and then they turn into a podcast, but the video is like a Patreon perk.
Well, yeah, you put the unlisted video available for Patreons to watch anytime.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Or you could do a private video as long as people have the link, they can go check it out.
Yeah. Who has a really good strategy behind their Patreon is Juan Bagnell.
Really good he's got a good strategy. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look at his, because my issue with Patreon, because I do have one, contrary to probably, I actually do have one, but my issue is time, because I barely have enough time to do the YouTube thing plus Twitter. And then there's Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon. And I'm like, man, I need to put more focus on Patreon. So
yeah, my original idea with Patreon was I was just basically just going to have one tier of, once a month there's like $1 tier just because you want to help out. And then if you went to the $3 or higher, whatever you decide, you can put in whatever amount you want, $3 or more, that once a month I would post a video of behind the scenes of me making a video. So basically I was going to take my extra camera, set it up over in this corner here, hit record as I'm setting everything up, going through my notes. So, because I think there could be some value to somebody that maybe is getting into this, or how do things work behind the scenes for this creator kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think even people who aren't, interested in the process to learn from it, I think the people who watch your channel, will would be really interested to see. Like, I'd have to put pants on, but
That's my issue with that behind the scenes stuff, because
yeah.
man, 90% of creators when they're making these videos are not wearing pants. Little known fact.
True.
Yeah, it's
True.
true. Boxers are usually where I start, and then if I have to leave the house, I
The
put
people
on pants.
listening and watching don't know this, but when you sign up for a YouTube channel, once you pass 10 subscribers, YouTube sends you a contract. No pants.
Yep. They don't want you overheating due to all the lighting.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, and it gets hot. It gets hot. You got the computers running, you got the lighting going. Thank God for LED lights. That's all I can say.
Man, I'm saying, dude. But hey, guys, I got to get going, man, because we got to do dinner here.
Actually, your
So,
timing is perfect because
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap up anyway, Jeff. So just hang out. Just
Okay.
give us 2 more minutes here.
Yeah.
Jason, how do you want to wrap up this week? Do you have any final thoughts, or do you want to do health for review?
I
Or-
don't want to do held for review because it's
No?
just going to depress me today. It
Okay.
doesn't often depress me, but like I read some of my held for review stuff to like guys that I play Battlefield with,
Mhm.
and they were like, "Oh my God, dudes, people say that stuff to you?" Like, I'm like, "Yeah, what did you?" Yeah, they say some pretty nasty stuff, but
Yeah.
no, it wouldn't depress me so much as like I don't know. Sometimes you just don't want to. You just don't want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But,
You know what? We'll do health review on a monthly basis.
Yeah,
That way it builds up really good. Okay, so let's wrap up this because I'm supposed to be guiding things here.
yes.
Let's wrap up this week with a Netflix or Google Play movie or something. I know we did this last week, but we'll do it again. And I'm not going to say Friends this week, I promise. Let's give everybody a movie they can go and watch this week.
Okay.
Something to look forward to.
Okay, I'm on my Netflix here. I'm looking to see.
Jeff, do you have
What?
anything?
What, like a movie that they should go watch right now?
Not like right now, but something that you watch within the next week.
Oh.
I'll start because I watched it the other day and I forgot how much I really liked the movie. Boiler Room.
Oh,
Go
That
watch
was a good-
Boiler Room. If you guys haven't seen Boiler Room, go watch Boiler Room.
yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Is that the one? It's like a Wall Street thing.
Yeah, basically. I mean, if you kind of like Wolf of Wall Street and Wall Street movies, kind of things like that, you'll like this. It is about basically fake stocks and everything like that. And
Right.
the main character, I can't remember the actor's name. You guys will all recognize him. But his dad's a judge and everything. And yeah, I watch this movie every couple of years, but I watched it again last week. And I'm like, damn, I forgot how much I really like this movie. It's got a really, really, really young Vin Diesel in it. Like he's
Like
skinny.
still has hair, Vin Diesel.
No, not that young, but he's super skinny, right?
Yeah, he wasn't like super swole like he is now.
No, nothing like that. And it's got Ben Affleck. There's a couple of other big names that were kind of up and coming at the time. But yeah, Boiler Room. That's my pick. Everybody, go watch Boiler Room if you can.
Nice.
So I'm looking here, and my wife and daughter just watched this over the weekend, I think, and I popped in to watch little bits. Kill Bill Volume 1 is on Netflix,
Oh, nice.
and
Good call.
yeah, and that. I haven't seen it for a long time, and I it's interesting to see it after the hype, after everybody stops being super excited about it or whatever, and then you see it and I felt like I was getting more of the vibe that he intended instead of like it's a Quentin Tarantino movie, and so everybody expects a thing. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it very much is like a cowboy / martial arts /
Like a
whatever
Western.
film.
Like a
Yeah.
Western.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything, man. Yeah, it's like a Western. Yeah, it's a Western.
Yeah. So
Kill
you
Bill
had-
Volume, what's it, 2 or 1?
Volume 1. I
Yeah,
mean,
one.
I actually don't know if Volume 2 is on here,
Okay.
but Volume 1 is a good place to start.
Okay. Boiler Room, and then Jeff, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm kind of gonna go left on you guys here, but it's gonna be something that I'm actually gonna have the blessing to go see in the theater again, and it's Akira. It's a movie made in 1989, the animated
it's
movie.
classic.
Yeah, dude. So they're gonna be showing it in theater at a local theater here that's like an independent theater. So they have like couches and gourmet food and beer and like all that stuff. And
Right.
they're going to be showing it. And because, so if people aren't aware of Akira, it's a Japanese animation movie from like 1989. And it's based on like a post-apocalyptic Tokyo. And it's a guy who's a leader of a bike gang. He's trying to save his buddy who's like, the government took him and they're like trying to like do experiments and stuff on him. It's a trip, man. So, but it's an awesome,
They like
awesome
set the
movie.
standard like
Yes.
going forward after them
Yeah.
for like Japanimation and all. And like it's
And
insane.
And it's old school. It's like the real deal, like drawn animation. This is before CGI.
Yeah.
It's like the old school type of anime. So it's legit, dude. But it's Akira.
It's a visual delight. It really is. Yeah.
So I graduated high school in 1989. So I got to experience. I didn't get to see it in the theater, but it was something that everybody in my peer group was like way into, and it was one of those movies like that you would have on movie night all the way through college. And so Septian just put in here Tetsuo.
Yep.
Akira! It happens all the way through.
Yep.
Canada.
Yeah.
Dude,
So yeah, that's good. I'm gonna have to check that out again. I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, dude, it's been a long time, man.
That's a good spread of movies right there. Kill Bill Volume 2, Boiler Room, Akira. Yeah. There's something there for everybody, I think.
Yeah, I think so, man.
Yeah. All right, JTL, do you want to wrap things up?
Yeah, sure. I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been here listening, watching, folding your laundry, whatever it is that you're doing while we're doing this. And of course, I want to say thanks to Jeff for stopping by and guesting with us and talking about his experience.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
If there's any follow-up, Jeff, we definitely want to have you back next week and to let us know if anything happens.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And of course, a huge shout out to Zach for being here and holding down the second chair and doing his thing. If you want to find us again on Twitter, Jason T. Lewis, PhD, or Zach Talks Tech, ZAK, TALKS, TECH. Yeah, I felt like I was going to mess that up. So, and of course, Jeff, what's your Twitter?
For me, it's Jeff at El Jefe Reviews.
At Jeff at El Jefe Reviews. Okay.
Oh, and as a reminder, everybody that's in the chat, this is Jason's new channel, Painfully Honest Live. Head over there and make sure you're subscribed because I'm 99% sure we'll probably be over there next week.
Yeah, next week's podcast is going to come from there.
So basically, all live streams will now be on there. So
I was sub number 7 on that channel.
Oh, nice.
I got 14.
There you go.
Very nice. I haven't been watching, so
he's like, I don't care.
Well, I mean, I'll get to enjoy it in full. I won't have my attention.
That's all right, man. That'll be plaque number 2, baby.
Plaque number 2. Plaque number 1 got effed up.
Oh, that's right.
I saw it. I saw the pictures. Yeah, I didn't look. It's not broken, but I mean the edges, right?
No, it's so it fell down. What I did, I have it up there with command strips, and I had to move it. So I tried to use the same command strip again. And like once you pull a command strip off the wall, it's just not the same.
That's it.
And so I put it up there, and then a couple of days later, all of a sudden the thing comes crashing down, hits my Razer laptop, and like lands on the floor. And I pick it up, and the top left corner is like bent over, like entirely flapped over. And I'm like,
oh no. You just jumped from 15 to 25, by the way, on your new
all
channel.
right.
Nice.
Yeah. So and it got a little bit of a scratch on the lower right side. And at first I was like, oh man, that sucks. And I mean, I'm still that way. It's a plaque, but at the same time, it's more indicative of my journey.
You're a little bruised anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah,
right.
Halfway beat up. I did like take a pocket knife and flip the edge back over, So it's not everything is, it's not terrible, but that's one thing. The quality overall of the new plaque compared to the old plaques, not the same.
Yeah.
So
Well, at least you got a plaque.
yeah, I'm I'm 100K 2.0.
I'm
There
gonna
you
carve.
go.
I'm gonna carve one out of soap for 50.
That would be good. Yeah.
Irish Spring, baby. That nice green color.
Oh, I love that soap. I haven't seen that soap for a long time.
Oh man.
All right, we have to let Jeff go and
Cool,
eat.
guys.
I have to go watch election results. We're electing a new party tonight in Alberta. So
Well,
Sweet.
good luck to you.
yeah,
And yeah, thank you everybody for coming in, hanging out. Really do appreciate it. I'm going to try and get a better night's sleep. I'm going to get in bed as soon as we're done. And that doesn't mean that I'll fall asleep though, because another thing that I've been watching, and if you have a Netflix or an HBO subscription and you haven't watched this, I got addicted to Silicon Valley.
Oh.
haven't watched it yet.
I can't stop watching it. I'll watch like a whole, like most of a season in a night because they're like 29-minute episodes.
Oh yeah,
And so
you can eat those really fast.
yeah, and it's like they do a really good job of like the little cliffhanger, and it just starts like that. The next one starts within 5 seconds, and I'm like, oh man.
They
So
get you.
I was watching Silicon Valley until like 2:30 in the morning last night.
Nice.
So anyway, thank you all for being here very much. This is the Painfully Honest Tech channel. This is the Painfully Honest Tech podcast. We like to purvey what we call tech so honest it hurts. And yeah, well, I'll also watch the Game of Thrones. We'll talk about that later.
Oh, yeah,
Anyway,
Game of Thrones.
thanks so much for being here, guys. Thanks to Jeff and Zach again. And we will see you the next time. Until that next time, I'm out.